Good afternoon, everybody. I'm really happy to be here. And it's great to see so many also familiar faces, but also new faces. So TIA Summit, it's always a pleasure to be present. Sorry for not being present for too long, because we had a very interesting meeting in my house, actually, privately, over the last days, because my colleagues, the ambassador and all other heads of mission in India from German missions had been here. And we have a team meeting, so to coordinate our efforts in order to bring Indo-German relations even on higher heights than they are already. So I believe very much into the fact that India and Germany together, we promise a real future for global manufacturing. And our partnership is so intense and getting intenser day by day, and we can see that with all the visits we make, with all the delegations we get in, with all the delegations from India coming to Germany. Germany has long been, and I want to make that point very clearly, will continue to be the powerhouse of Europe. Not just economically, but also technologically. It stands tall as a pioneer of Industry 4.0. The term itself was coined in Germany, and the country has led the way in integrating digital technologies, such as the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, robotics, and cyber-physical systems into manufacturing, and you all know about it. And even the open source communications between machines nowadays is also very much forged in my country. So Germany's strength lies in a strong industrial base with globally competitive sectors like, even still today, automotive, machinery, chemicals, and electric engineering. And you know, all the people are saying, yeah, the Germans, they have a little bit lost grip on the automotive. That might be, but I think the good thing about German companies, they are able to reinvent themselves, and I believe very much into that fact that they will do that also in the automotive sector. Germany brings unmatched precision, process optimization, and efficiency to manufacturing. And secondly, a world-class research and development and innovation ecosystem. You know, research institutions like the Fraunhofer Institute, Max Planck, Leibniz Gesellschaft, all the universities are global leaders in applied industrial research. They serve as ideal partners for technology transfer and collaborative innovation. And Germany has indeed the highest percentage of research and development of all industrial countries. I think that is something which makes that precision, which is still there, make that precision possible. And also, there are global technology leaders, companies such as Siemens, Bosch, SAP, and Festo. They are not only inventors in smart manufacturing technologies, but also have been present long time in India. They're really friends of India, and they're contributing to global as well as localized innovation and skill building. And I must say, not only these big ones, it's also the SMEs, mostly family-owned, run businesses. And they are the real backbone of our industry. We call it the Mittelstand. You have heard that word probably quite often, but the Mittelstand we are very proud of. They are a constant innovative motor. To give you one example, for the ones who have been in Germany, you probably know, if you take the stretch along the Rhine River from Karlsruhe down to the Swiss border, in only these 200 kilometers, not even 200 kilometers, you have over 200 world market leaders in their respective field, niches sometimes. You know, I was visiting a friend near Karlsruhe, and there was a little village, there was a huge factory, and I said, you know, what are they doing? Yeah, there are 4,000 people working there, they're doing they are the world market leader in sausage filling machines. You know, that's interesting. You know, Germans love sausage, and so we are market leader in that particular field. So that is very interesting, I think. And on the other hand, India is emerging as a rising force in global manufacturing. India has set for itself as target of Viksit Bharat by 2047. To be self-reliant, India needs to become a manufacturing powerhouse and a manufacturing powerhouse with excellence. Something where Germany, I believe firmly in, certainly can be of help to India with our own experience which we have made over the years. In view of India, I think there are some points which are very important. So first of all, I think also the per capita growth has also to rise. Because I think if you have workers which are working in your SMEs or your companies, they need excellence. And excellence has to be paid. It's not that somebody who is just giving a poor wage makes an excellent product. No, you need somebody who is really also excellence and recognized as being an excellent person. And also, and I think that is the most important way to Viksit Bharat 2047, the overall share of manufacturing in your GDP, it has to go up. Otherwise, it won't work. And right now, India contributes and earns many more through services and not through manufacturing. But if you want to be an industrialized nation by 47, I think there's no way you can do that with services. We have seen that actually with our neighbor, which is the UK. They lost a lot of industries, and they relied nearly completely on services. And that didn't work out well, so they're ramping up again their industrial backbone, which I think is a very good idea, what the UK is doing. And Germany, I think, is a good partner to support India in this shift of this tech decade to manufacturing prowess and, most important, excellence. There are already made many steps by the government of India to make India a manufacturing powerhouse. So firstly, programs like Make in India, which some of our companies don't like too much, but I think they have all adapted to it, and now they start to cherish it. So programs like Make in India and the PLI schemes, with that, India is trying to create an environment that supports rapid industrial growth and encourages adoption of smart, efficient, and sustainable production methods. India also offers a large, young, and skilled workforce, along with a growing domestic market hungry for modern manufacturing solutions. And if I talk about skills and young workforce, you have probably heard already something about that today, and there had been yesterday a skilled conference also here in Bangalore. I believe very much in that, because I think skilling, that is the key for growth. It is absolutely the key. And it's also a key for Indo-German collaboration, because we, in Germany, we need these talents. We need these absolutely dearly, because, people like me going to retirement next year, we are many of me, so we are all going to retirement, and somebody has to do the work, but we don't have enough young people, because our median age is 48, whereas in India it's 28. I think these two figures already say it all, So skilling, an absolutely important part. Hello, good afternoon. I see one of the spearheads of skilling in Karnataka over here. So most importantly, India has a deep digital talent pool with expertise in AI, data analytics, software development, and cloud computing, areas that perfectly complement Germany's strengths in hardware and process engineering. And, the growth of global capability centers here in Bangalore, they are proof of that ability, of that talent. And Germany plugs into that ability and into that talent. So why does the partnership work so well? Because Germany and India bring complementary strengths to the table. Germany contributes advanced hardware, automation technologies, and I already alluded to it, decades of industrial expertise. India brings IT innovation, scalability, and cost-effective implementation. And I think if we bring both of these things together, the best of the two worlds can unite. And I'll just give you an example. I just come from Dynamatic, which we visited with my colleagues. Most of you know Dynamatic, but what they do is actually, they build together with Deutsche Aircraft a short-range plane, which is absolutely stunning, which I would say innovation in terms of more ecological flying and an airplane which I think the world is waiting for, and that is Indian-German innovation done in Bangalore, Munich, and Leipzig. So I think that is the best example for that. Because, as I said, this is not just theory. Indo-German partnerships already exist, whether it's in joint R&D project, this project I mentioned just a moment ago, a German support for Indian MSMEs through technology transfer, and also skills development. Beyond economic collaboration, both nations share a common vision, a commitment to sustainable green manufacturing. Smart manufacturing technologies are central to reducing emissions, improving energy efficiency, and managing resources more intelligently. You can like having climate change or not, but you can't deny it, and you have to deal with it. And it's more costly not to deal with it and to plug into more fossil fuel like some countries on this planet have decided to. But India does not go that way, and Germany and India work together on not going and continue to go that way. So looking ahead, the potential areas for collaboration are exciting. Digital twin technologies, for example, MBRDI is doing fantastic work already in Bangalore for the globe. Industrial IoT platforms and AI-driven predictive maintenance, where we have companies like SAP with their new campus bringing in more than 15,000 new jobs to Bangalore. Bosch, Continental, to name a few. And again, in areas of robotics, automation, we have, for example, Festo. They just opened their phase number 1 of a 5-phase project. And the phase number 1 is already 50,000 square meter hall. So you can imagine what they envisage for their growth in India. They told me actually, the owner was here, a very, very nice person, over 85 years of age, but he loves India and he loves to come here and to build up with India these fantastic facilities. So they see, for example, for their company, which is not a too big company, but they foresee for their company by the end of this decade, by 2030, a turnover of €1 billion, which is a lot of money for a company in robotics. So other places, cybersecurity, for example, in the manufacturing world, which is done by Carl Zeiss. And again, in Bangalore by Carl Zeiss. And again, I want talk about the D328neo, which is the plane I was just talking about. And of course, skills training and vocational education to prepare the workforce for the future. All these companies I named above are also investing heavily in skilling young talent and making them industry ready. And we do that also with the support of the government. Might it be the Indian government, but also here, speaking of Karnataka, where I'm Consul General, with the big support actually of the Karnataka government. The EU and India are also currently negotiating the free trade agreement. Both sides have repeatedly confirmed that they want to agree on it by the end of 2025. And I think we have to thank a person which is seen from Germany, transatlantic. So Mr. Trump plays a role in it because I think Europe and India are looking more closely to a cooperation because the barriers to other places are higher than they had been before. A free trade agreement would be an important signal in times when Indo-German trade is continuing to grow and India is becoming increasingly important as a market for German exports. And I can tell you, again, yesterday, one chapter again had been closed. So they coming to an end. And probably, like always in international negotiation, if you want to look for an agreement, it will be decided at the end on the political level. There will be open questions for sure, but then the politician has to come in and then give it a go and give it a try and give it a breakthrough. So I believe very much that both sides really want that breakthrough by the end of this year. And then I can assure you that Germany is a very, very strong supporter of the FTA. My foreign minister, Johann Wadefuhl, was in Bangalore in September, and he saw for himself how India is a rising and rapidly developing economic powerhouse and already a very promising global technology hub. He was here for the first time in his life, actually, in India, and he set foot for the first time in India to Bangalore. And I think that was fantastic because we really could show him the growth story of India here in Bangalore, and he was very much impressed when he left to Delhi for his political talks. One day in Bangalore, half a day in Delhi. Oh, but that's only, my little joke, for me. India offers German companies great opportunities in terms of innovation, trade, and supply chain diversification. India is a key partner for us worldwide and gives our economy a broader focus and making it more stable. Very important, because stable economic situations are what the businesses want to have. This dynamism, which makes India so innovative, surprised my minister extremely positively. It is also in our mutual interest to expand security, defense, and arms cooperation between our two countries. We are just in the process of finishing an agreement on 8 ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems submarines. And we're very happy that India decided for these submarines. And what I hear from the background is perhaps there are even more submarines at hand that might be constructed. And also I hear that because TKMS facilities in Germany are overwhelmed with work, that the work will be done in India with a factory put up from ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems here in India. So Make in India, again, which I mentioned before, will come reality also in the defense sector, which is, I would say, a very important, in these days, unfortunately, a very important thing to do. Because even, you might say from Germany's perspective, the Indo-Pacific is far away. It's not. Nowadays in the world, nothing is far away. Everything is interconnected, and everything what happens somewhere has something in the country you're living in. Might it be India, might it be Germany. Even the day-to-day life of the average Indian is impacted by the aggression of Russia towards Ukraine, because he pays more for his edible oil. It's very simple as that, So all conflicts have that, and therefore security is important. It's not about war, it's about being secure and the deterrent of war. The absence of war is the goal which is there. And as democracies, we are both supporting a rules-based international order. We are thus natural partners, and we want to preserve this order, which faces, unfortunately, these huge geopolitical challenges which I mentioned already. So, in conclusion, Germany's technological leadership and India's scale, talent, and ambition together create a win-win scenario. By deepening this partnership, we can co-develop solutions that are not just cutting edge, but also scalable, sustainable, and globally impactful. Let us continue to build bridges, not just of trade and technology, but of trust, innovation, and shared progress. Thank you for having me here this afternoon. I wish you all the best.